Hello, YouTuber whoopers. See this thing over here on the chair? That is a Dell computer. It's a Dell Dimension 5150. And then there's another one over there, 9150. And then there's one on that chair over there, which is an amazing thing, kind of 8400. They all are running XP. None of them can go more than higher than. They won't go to Vista. I guess if you ever really would want to put Vista on anything. And so, a friend of mine that lives in the same town, he's kind of an Apple guy. And he had these things and he was trying to sell them and said they just needed to be reinstalled, software installed on them. But they're in worse condition. Every one of them has a different thing wrong with them, except for maybe that one. Might have more than one thing. One of them, it won't boot no matter. It won't boot. It boots up to a point and stops, and you can't. You get errors, system errors. Change the battery and reset things. But the first one, which was the 9150, was both DVD ROMs were bad, and it didn't have a hard drive. So I've been trying to load other things on there, but I haven't had much luck, and I don't actually have 32-bit XP. So yeah, that's a problem. Now these machines, these would actually be good miners because it's a really simple program on them. You got them running, and you could find boards, find graphic cards. You could actually make it a miner because you only need, 1 or 2 gigs of RAM to run it. You don't need 32. So you'd have to scrounge around for graphics cards, but they might be easier to find than you think because the version of it nobody's doing. You wouldn't use it for gaming, so you might just be able to find graphics cards that would work in the systems, but you have to get them running first. Now, this is the order. I went to the 9150, which is really the higher end of the whole three of them. That was missing the hard drive, but it won't really boot up because a third computer I worked on had a bootable drive. But there's something funky about it because as soon as I went to touch the mouse, it moved the motherboard around and it shut down, never to boot up again. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And then the middle computer, which is this one you can see over here, that one has a bad power supply. So I could put them all together and try to make a good machine, but this black one over here, and you can't really see it very well. I could probably, maybe we could see that one over there. That's one right over there, right there. See that one? That's the 8400. It's kind of dorky because you know how when you go to work on your printer, your inkjet, you have to lift up the clamshell to get down at the ink cartridges. That's how that one comes apart. You have to turn it on its side, having the bottom of the computer face you. And on the side there's arrows into the plastic, and if the arrows are pointing down, you've got to flip it over. And then you push in on these two latches, and then the whole thing lifts up. So then the top half has the drives in it, and the bottom half has the motherboard and the power supply. It's really kind of cool. It's quite the novelty. I don't know why they did it that way. It has a place you could put and install a normal motherboard in it. It has the the latest format, so you could pull that motherboard out and replace it with a DDR3 or a DDR4 motherboard. Now these actually all take DDR2, but if you wanted to keep it, but you'd also need new. They both are using IDE drives, which I guess are called PATA. The only reason I know it because I've been reading BIOS for the last 2 days. So they're using IDE drives, so you would have to get some new drives, but those are cheap. Those are like $25. So, and you wouldn't need 2 of them in each of them unless you're really needing to. So you wouldn't even need them at all. Or you only need it to load software. So you could actually just do an external DVD drive, load your software, and be done with it. Not that I'm selling these to you guys, because you're not going to want to pay for shipping to ship these bad boys to you, unless you really wanted to. If you paid for shipping, you could have them. You just have to set something up with the UPS store, and I bring them in, and they pack them up for you, and off they go. Whatever the shipping is, the shipping is. They could probably all go in one box, and they could pretty well. That would probably even be the better way to ship it. Although it does have 3 monitors, I don't know if you'd want the monitors. But I was going to do a video of it, and show me upgrading it and fixing it and repairing it, and I recorded half of it, but it wasn't going well. So the third one booted up for a little while, and I got all the way up to the base screen for XP, but then I wiggled one of the cords and it shut down, and then it wouldn't boot up again. So I don't know if that's something wrong with the board or what. Now there was one of those plates for the expansion slots inside the computer, so maybe that was someplace where it didn't belong. Maybe. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's definitely an interesting little experience. Like, don't even bother next time. Now, I had it kind of obscure because the person I got it from, I assumed these were his. And when he switched over to Macs, these are what he used to do his editing and stuff on. But then when he was dropping them off, he said that somebody gave them to him. And they all have professional XP license key tags on them. So they were probably used in offices. And then they were, I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to tinker on things, and sometimes you gotta know when to stop. And I kind of know where to stop. I mean, I could keep going at it. See, I don't know if I have a spare power supply, but I could take it out of one of them and put it in the other one and play with it. That one has me puzzled, that 9150, because I was playing with that for a while. And when I put the drive in it that already had a fully loaded XP on it, it wouldn't boot. It would give me these motherboard errors. So, and that was the same errors I've been getting all along. even before I changed the battery. Now, I could say when you change the battery, you corrupted something in RAM, but it was giving me those errors before. I just kept seeing the low battery error pop up when I would be in there um, booting it up. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting experience, just because I have nothing else better to do with my life. I was hoping to get a good video of it, but it didn't quite pan out. So I'm putting these back up on Facebook as free, and we'll see if anybody takes them. And if they don't, I'll load them in the car and bring them to Goodwill, and maybe someone will buy them from Goodwill. Um, yeah. There's always somebody out there that wants to tinker more than me. So before this gets too long a video, hope everyone's having a great day out there. It's a beautiful day here outside. It's like 60 out. And sunny and so forth. 60 and sunny, which is really unique. And we will see how things go after this. Ta-ta! End stream. Where did the mouse go? Where did the mouse go? End stream. Your stream will stop immediately and no longer be live. Okay.